Since 1965, the Imperial Symphony Orchestra has been educating, entertaining, and inspiring Central Florida audiences. What began as a group of 30 passionate volunteer musicians has grown to a paid per-service orchestra serving Polk County and neighboring communities. The month of March is full of calendar events for the ISO, and all the details of their performances is coming up next on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Brian Lacey, and joining me in studio is Amy Wiggins. Amy is the Executive Director of the Imperial Symphony Orchestra. Welcome to the show, Amy.
Thanks so much, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Kind of getting used to you coming in, and now you got a full calendar of events coming up in March, but we'll get to that shortly. But for those that might not know of the work, what exactly is the Imperial Symphony Orchestra?
The Imperial Symphony Orchestra, as you so adeptly put, has been around for more than 50 years, and it's a group of, right now, 48 musicians that just absolutely love playing symphonic music. Our calendar of events throughout the year includes Masterworks concerts, Pops concerts, our favorite concerts for families. We are involved with the LDDA to bring Music Mondays to downtown Lakeland, and ultimately we are creating a great place to live here in Polk County. Now,
when we talk about folks moving to the Polk community, we always talk quality of life issues, whether it be our Rails to Trails projects or parks or our arts projects, especially the ISO. Talk about the important role that you guys play in helping people make Polk County their home.
Absolutely. People love having things to do. So those Rails to Trails are important because they get people outside and experiencing nature. The Museum of Art is important because it helps people find their creativity. And music is important because we know that all of those things, those arts and cultural activities, are in the top 5 drivers attracting people to relocate to communities. They want a good education system. They want things for their children to be able to engage in the community. We know that music students perform better on standardized testing. In fact, our Polk County Public Schools fine arts programs have nearly a 100% graduation rate, and we're a 100% fine arts community. So these are things that we can really be proud of, and the symphony is, of course, proud to be a critical part of the arts and culture community, because we know that folks love the opportunity to pay homage to and respect the music of the past, but also find joy in the music of the future. And that's something that we put a lot of pride in, bringing children and families to experience the symphony.
And something that the folks really need to understand is these are world-class musicians, and they're located right here in Polk County. And as we were talking, kind of before the show started, you've got a lot of members that are playing outside gigs. Talk a little bit about the band members and how they fit into this.
Sure. So those 48 musicians are really playing in orchestras throughout Central Florida, and most of them, more than 50% of our orchestra, reside here in Polk County. And so not only are they able to perform with a semi-professional orchestra at home, they also are traveling as far as Naples or Claremont. The Villages has a very active community orchestra. And so for most people, this is how they make their living. Or many of them are teachers. We have several Polk County public school teachers that, I don't know if moonlight is the right answer, the right word for that, but that also perform with the ISO and may end up playing with Andrea Bocelli in Naples, or the traveling show of Into the Woods at the Strass Center. So they really do have an incredible and diverse talent base. So it's really exciting that they still are able to share that with Polk County.
And while sharing that with the county, not only at ISO shows, you've got events coming up, and one of the cool ones is your Mondays. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Music Mondays. This is completely a brainchild of Julie Townsend and the Lakeland Downtown Development Authority. She approached the symphony and said, hey, I have this crazy idea. I want to do music downtown on Monday, and we want to do it in Munn Park. So, as I'm sure you'll write on the bottom of the screen, it's MUNN Monday. And it's fabulous. We love it. We do it in October and in March. And every Monday from 11:30 to 1:30, folks can come downtown, bring a picnic lunch, or grab a lunch from one of the fabulous restaurants in downtown Lakeland. Bring a blanket, use one of the tables in the park, and enjoy live music. It's just a great time for everybody to come out and kind of enjoy. I think they've called Munn Park Lakeland's living room, downtown's living room. So it's a great time to come down and just enjoy some beautiful Florida weather.
And talk about the importance of getting out of that concert hall, if you will, and really out in front of the people and exposing them to that art.
We find that the non-traditional symphonic concerts are the ones that people get really excited about, because so many times walking into a concert hall is an intimidating experience. If folks didn't grow up in that environment or they've never experienced it before, it can be a little scary. You don't know when to clap, you're not sure if you can cough, or you really want to unwrap a mint, and how does that noise affect. But when you're outside, you're in a much more casual environment, and you can still enjoy the amazing music, just in an environment that may be a little bit more comfortable for folks. And so we love being able to go out, and we do a show in November at the Mulberry Phosphate Museum. How fun is it for kids to be able to dig in the fossil pit while
That's
the orchestra's
crazy.
playing Jaws? So cool, you know? And that's the kind of stuff that, that kids may not realize is influencing their understanding of the world around them, but it sure is, because we've got history and science and music all combined into this fabulous outdoor concert, which is really a unique experience, to say the least.
One thing that's important is for our community partners to get involved in the arts, and you've got a program where Southern Homes is joining you. Talk to me a little bit about the importance of community partners joining you in ventures like this, and then talk a little bit about Pops by the Lake.
Sure. So we really rely on not only the support of our patrons and our ticket holders, but ticket sales really only cover about 30% of the ISO's annual budget. So it is critically important that these like-minded community partners come alongside the symphony to bring these amazing programs to the community. And we have a litany of sponsors, and the sponsor you're referencing now, of course, is Southern Homes, and they are sponsoring the Pops by the Lake, which is an annual concert down at the Lake Mirror Amphitheater in downtown Lakeland. Beautiful venue. And this year, the ISO, I am just beyond excited about this. The 6-string soldiers, who are the bluegrass unit of the U.S. Army Field Band, are going to be joining the symphony down by the water for an amazing patriotic and bluegrass concert. So it's just, our office manager, Christine, reached out and said, hey, do you guys have symphony charts? And they wrote back and said, no, we don't do things like that. And then they came back and said, wait, that's a great idea. How do we get involved? And so this will be their symphonic debut, this bluegrass unit, their symphonic debut right here in Lakeland. That's an amazing thing to be able to say.
And that's Friday, March 16th?
Friday, March 16th. The show will start at 8, but I recommend that you arrive early, because seating will fill up quickly. Bring a chair, bring a blanket, whatever you'd like. It's free admission.
See, that's what I was waiting for. That was the best part about that show too,
free
right?
admission, yes. Just remember, no glass bottles in the park. That's the only rule.
All right. And another event you have coming up Tuesday, March 20th, Symphonia, a celebration of arts and community.
We have engaged with Southeastern University and their College of Arts and Media and Dean Craig Collins to bring this program to fruition. This is really a Southeastern event, and the ISO is, again, incredibly excited to be performing. Joseph DiBiase, who is a composer and primarily scores for film, most recently and most notably, I guess, scored the score for American Sniper. And so he has reworked that, so the symphony will play Suite from American Sniper. And then he's also written a few very special compositions for a couple of guest conductors, and one that also tells a story about returning home, what that's like for military veterans to come back home and try to reintegrate into society. So it will be an incredibly poignant evening of new and original works. It's going to be tremendous.
And then, of course, Wednesday, March 28th, Mike Block and Hanak Castle, is that right?
It's Hanukkah Castle.
Hanukkah
yes.
Castle. I'm
yes.
sorry.
No, it's okay. she's obviously, it's not an easy name to pronounce. Mike Block, I'm telling you what, is a phenomenal cellist, and we are very fortunate to be able to host him here in Lakeland. He is one of the original members of Yo-Yo Ma's ensemble, and he and his wife Hanukkah, who is a Celtic fiddler, will be performing a benefit, and the funds raised from this show will benefit Florida Southern College string camps, as well as Mike Block has his own string camp. And that's all part of the ISO's Beth Mason Young Artists Foundation. So again, that's at Lakeland Live on Wednesday the 28th, and that is a reserved seating show. You can find out information at imperialsymphony.org.
Okay. One of the things that we talked about, we obviously know you're on the road throughout March, but when you're at home, when you play Lakeland, talk about the availability of season tickets and things along that lines. How do people get involved with that, and what are the packages like?
Of course, the ISO just announced its 2018-2019 season with 6 ticketed shows, and we are, I think, one of maybe a handful, if any more, orchestras that perform an opera. Most opera companies hire an orchestra, and we do the reverse. We're an orchestra that hires the opera singers, and in January 19th, 2019, the ISO will do the Magic Flute, which is just a spectacular opera. Mozart, who is an amazing and gifted composer, it's fantasy and fun and excitement, so I know that one's going to be tremendous. Our next season will go from October to May. In October and May, we'll host a contemporary series with the band Copeland. We'll do the symphonic show with them in October, and then West Side Story in concert in May. In November, we'll welcome Angel Romero, a tremendous classical guitarist, to perform, and then we'll have, with Lakeland Choral Society, performing Handel's Messiah in December for the holiday show. February, a tremendously talented Rita Fandritz will join us on piano, and then in March we'll host our Young Artist competition again through that Beth Mason Young Artists Foundation and award a scholarship to a talented young artist who will also perform with the symphony. So it's a packed season next season. All of those shows are at Yuki Theater. We're proud to call that our home theater. So it's a beautiful venue, and we have a great relationship with the RP Funding Center.
And how do folks go about getting season tickets?
All of that information and more, of course, is available at imperialsymphony.org. They can also call the office anytime, 863-688-3743.
As we alluded to earlier, it takes a lot financially to put on shows like this, and you're always looking for community partners to invest. Talk about the importance and what the folks would be getting if they invested back into your program.
Well, investing is really a great word, because we just found out this year, we completed a study with the Polk Arts Alliance, that Polk County's nonprofit arts and culture community, which consists of 9 arts and culture organizations, contributes more than $46 million annually to Polk County's economy. And so it really is a tremendous investment to be able to say that for your dollars you're putting in to arts and culture, your employees are getting the benefit back out. And so our season sponsorships include everything from tickets and advertising, but we also do some special programs where our sponsors are able to schedule a special training with some ISO musicians. How much fun is it for your staff to be able to learn leadership skills through conducting a group of musicians? So we really like to be creative and engage our sponsors in a way that's more than just an ad in a program, because those are where the benefits come, not only for their bottom line, but for their employees and their employees' health and enjoyment and connection to the community.
Well, Amy, as always, it is a pleasure to have you in here. And not only in the month of March do we look forward to seeing your group throughout the community, but throughout the year.
Thanks so much, Brian. I appreciate being here. Thank you.
The month of March is a great chance for you to check out the many performances for the Imperial Symphony Orchestra, whether it's Music Mondays at Munn Park in downtown Lakeland, every Monday from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., or the Southern Homes Pops by the Lake, Friday, March 16th at 8 p.m. at the Lake Mirror Amphitheater. Keep in mind that show is free. Don't forget about Symphonia, a celebration of arts and community, Tuesday, March 20th at 7:30 p.m. at Victory Church in Lakeland. They wrap up their performances Wednesday, March 28th at 7:30 with Mike Block and Hanukkah Castle at Lakeland Live. That's at 202 Massachusetts Street in Lakeland. Now, if you need more information, you can check them out on the web at www.imperialsymphony.org or give them a call at 863-688-3743.